whenever Roger Goodell wants something to happen, and this is not an original thought by me again, I'm crediting Brandt and Albert Breer with this, that when Roger Goodell wants something to happen and he doesn't have the votes to push it through, you need 24 votes from owners to push something through. They have about 16 right now to ban the Tush Push. They end up tabling the vote until May, and then Goodell's going to spend a lot of time trying to force the owners to do what he wants. So Roger Goodell wants to ban the Tush Push. That's kind of out there. Albert Breer has reported it. It's all over Twitter. People can check it if they want. It doesn't mean it's going to happen, but I think we can kind of operate right now. If we're setting a betting market, I would set it as the favorite that it's going to be banned. And the Eagles, the reigning defending Super Bowl champions, are really pissed off about this, as you might imagine. If I were an Eagles fan, or I were an Eagles player, or an Eagles coach, or an Eagles executive, or owner Jeffrey Lurie, I'd be pissed about this. They're really good at it. There's nothing in the current rule book that says you can't do it. And the whole idea that it endangers players or that player safety is a thing because of this, there's nothing that suggests it. It's made up. The reason why Roger Goodell wants to ban it is because it's terrible. It's not like a football play. People don't unless you're an Eagles fan or you bet the Eagles or you have Jalen Hurts in fantasy, no one wants to see it. What happened in the NFC Championship game with Frankie Louvu and the Commanders was a disgrace. Right, where the referees were hey, if you do this again, we're just going to give the Eagles a touchdown. The NFL doesn't want that, and can you blame them for it? But I'll say this, and this can, the header of this can be in defense of the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm a Giants fan. I don't want to do that. But I have to be honest. In defense of the Philadelphia Eagles, the teams that are so, loud and vociferous about this, Sean McDermott and the Bills, who have been tilting for years, since the 13 seconds game, an organization, a coach, and a team absolutely on tilt. Sean McDermott, I'm worried about player safety. Yeah, doesn't stop them from doing it. Worried about player safety. Sean McDermott, just a hater. The Green Bay Packers, we want to ban the Tush Push. Okay, you also lost twice to the Eagles in the regular season. Once in the regular season and once in the wild card round. They come across sore losers. If it were me, and I wanted to ban the Tush Push, and I were coach of a team on the competition committee and owner, I would just not say anything publicly and just vote in secret against it. Because by saying something publicly, you expose yourself as a hater and a loser. And all of us over the course of our lives, we can be haters. We can be losers, right? And in this instance, being a hater and a loser actually gives you a competitive advantage because it stops the team that just won the championship from doing something that's actually unstoppable. I don't blame teams for wanting to strike it down, but the idea of, well, it's for player safety or, well, this and, well, that and actually this and actually that, no. The reason you want it to be banned is because the Eagles just won the championship and it's unstoppable when they do it. Just say that. Just be honest about it. So I think it's going to get banned. And just a quick note on fantasy, if and when it gets banned. And Femi and I will talk about Philadelphia's win total. And then we got to get into Trey Hendrickson and the Cincinnati Bengals. Jalen Hurts has been a cheat code in fantasy football for a couple years now, since the Tush Push started, because of the rushing touchdowns. They get the ball down by the goal line, guaranteed Jalen Hurts rushing touchdown. Boom. It's what's had him in the elite tier of fantasy quarterbacks, which Patrick Mahomes was out of this year, but going into last year, it was the big four. Anthony Richardson was the fifth. Didn't go great. But maybe he's able to get back up there. But it's Josh Allen, Lamar, Jalen Hurts. Those are really now the big three. We'll see if Mahomes is able to get back up there. But those are the big three. Now, if you take the Tush Push away from the Eagles, and I think it's going to happen, it might not. I think it's something worth considering. Where does Jalen Hurts go in fantasy now? If you take that away from him. And also, where does Saquon Barkley now go? Where even if you want to make the case, and it's a good case, right? The case is, can he do what he did again? Probably not. I guess he could maybe almost break the rushing record. Not that he can't go for 1,700 yards again, but he's going to break the rushing record next year? Maybe not. A year older. But if you take away, like, I don't know, I'm just making the arbitrary number 5 Jalen Hurts goal line touchdowns, and Saquon gets the ball instead behind that offensive line, and he's the best running back in the league. Wow, right? So huge fantasy implications if and when the Tush Push gets banned. You bet on this Monday. Femi, the Eagles win total right now at BetMGM is 11.5. So they're in the elite tier. They should be. They just won the Super Bowl, right? 11.5. The over -115. If the Tush Push does get banned, does this change how you feel about the 2025 Philadelphia Eagles at all? Obviously still have the draft and entire offseason to go.
Absolutely not. I mean, like, what do we say? The Eagles are only good because of one play. Like, this team is awesome, and you're a Giants fan. I'm a Cowboys fan. It makes me disgusted to praise the Philadelphia Eagles, but they're a really, really good team. And I think that if you like their win total under, it has to be for more than just, oh, well, they're going to ban the Tush Push. This is going to prevent them from converting in short yardage. They still have one of the elite offensive lines in football. They still have one of the elite running backs in football. Like, this team is still awesome. And oh, by the way, even if they don't do the Tush Push, Jalen Hurts is squatting about 1,000 pounds. He could just do a natural QB sneak, and they could just sneak it. Like, they don't need the help. So, like, I don't think that this is going to be like, well, now the Eagles' short yardage code has been taken away. Now, they're not going to be as aggressive. Like, I doubt they're going to hand it off to Saquon Barkley 4th and 1 from their own, like, 25-yard line. Whereas with the Tush Push, they'd probably just go for it and just Tush Push and just keep the drive rolling. Like, maybe that changes, like, their level of aggression like they've had in their own territory. But overall, I don't think this is going to be a massive deal. I think people, like you said, are being haters. This team is still going to be awesome. They rightfully are at 11.5. They're rightfully the favorites to win the NFC and rightfully the favorites to win the Super Bowl. Like, this team is awesome. They're not just like some like Tush Push merchant team or whatever. Like, yeah, from a fantasy standpoint, definitely impacts Hurts. But overall, the Eagles are still going to be great because they have a great team and they have a great front office.